welcome to a new reading vlog, and in this one I really want to make a dent in my January TBR. I've been doing pretty well with my January TBR so far. I've already finished My Husband that I was doing a buddy read with my friend. I started January 30% of the way through Kingdom of Ash, and now I am 70% of the way, so I made a huge dent in this, which I'm really happy about. I'm finally almost done, and I need to finish this before the end of January because our next meeting at the end of January is like a whole Massverse situation, and once I finish this one I'm all caught up on all of her books. So I really want to focus on finishing this one. I also put The Two Towers from Lord of the Rings on my January TBR because I'm doing a buddy read of it with my dad. We're already 24% of the way through that one, but I have to read a couple more chapters for our next weekly chat. So I think I need to read 3 chapters for that. It doesn't seem like a lot, but the chapters are very long. I'm finding the writing to be kind of, I mean, I knew what I was getting into. It's kind of slow. It's a little bit like sometimes overly descriptive. No, you know, that's not fair. Sometimes it's just very descriptive, and at times it can feel a little like pedantic, but that's fine. I knew what I was getting into and I'm having a really good time with it so far. Sometimes I do just have to break up reading a chapter like into 2 or 3 different reading sessions. Otherwise I find myself just like zoning out. Most of the books on my January TBR are fantasies, so to break that up in this reading vlog I'm going to add the fine print, I think. And this one is a romance. It's basically the grandsons of this guy that owns and started Dreamland, which is essentially Disneyland, and he passes away, and to get their inheritance they have to like accomplish a few things before they can get it as per his will, I guess. I'm not 100% sure on the premise of these books. I think there's 3 of them because there's like the 3 grandsons, but I've heard really good things about these. But I think it'll be like a nice, fluffy, lighthearted romance book to break up the fantasy books. I also might start the Sirens. I'm not sure. I kind of want more variety just because on my TBR I have Kingdom of Ash, I have The Two Towers, I have Mistborn, I have Evocation. I also have Onyx Storm for when that one comes out at the end of January. So there's just like a lot of fantasy going on. I can't believe I didn't add a thriller onto my January TBR. Usually I have at least one, but I think maybe I'll just like mood read a thriller, see kind of what I feel like. I'm gonna check out some thrillers on Kindle Unlimited and just see what's out there, see what kind of grabs my attention. So I'm gonna have this vlog cover the next couple days at least and just see how much progress I can make in the next few days. I'm hoping to finish Kingdom of Ash. I think I can. There's about 300 pages left, so that should be fine. And then The Two Towers, I just have to read 3 chapters, so that'll be fine. And then I think I will pick up the Sirens just because it is on my TBR. I also have it from NetGalley, so I want to get to it. And I think it should be a very fun, cozy, relaxing next few days. And I will update you guys as I'm going. In my January TBR, I said that I really want to stick to my TBRs in 2025. And it was one of my big reading goals to stick to my TBR. So I'm hoping that this vlog will keep me accountable. I even already said I was going to mood read a thriller, which I might do just so I don't get slumpy with the fantasies. So I'm gonna stick to this as much as I can. We're gonna see how that goes. So I will catch up with you guys in a bit. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely been over a week since I last filmed for this vlog. I did end up finishing Kingdom of Ash. This one destroyed me. I was ruined for hours. Like, finishing this is exactly why I didn't finish it for so long. I had been reading this for so long, like over a year. I was reading it, and so then I had to start over from the beginning. Even though I was at 75%, I had to start over from the beginning, but I'm so glad that I did start over. So this one, like 5 stars, 6 stars, infinity stars. I absolutely loved this. It was such an amazing conclusion to the series. I immediately want to reread the series. I started it, when did I start it? I think in 2023. I'll have to double check, but I definitely want to do a big reread and do the tandem read this time, so I'm really looking forward to that. I posted recently on Threads that I really want 2025 to be like my year of rereading my favorite books, my favorite series, things like that. So I definitely think I'm going to do a Throne of Glass reread this year. I'm starting my first reread of the ACOTAR series in the next few days, so I'm really excited for that. I've only read each book in the series once, so I really want to go back, reread it, and now that I know like where we're at by the end of A Court of Silver Flame, I want to go back and reread it and see like what little Easter eggs or things that I might have missed, or like context that I now have having finished Silver Flames. So anyways, Kingdom of Ash, finished it, loved it. So happy with the way that this series ended. This next one came out last week and I finished it. There's not gonna be any spoilers. I'm not gonna go into it at all, but I read Onyx Storm and I absolutely loved it. This one was definitely 5 stars for me. I loved so much of the character growth between the side characters, the main characters, but I'm not gonna go into this one just because it did only come out last week, but this is the 3rd in the Empyrean series. The first one is Fourth Wing. So that's this newest one. I did end up starting and finishing The Sirens. I absolutely loved it. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. I didn't like it quite as much as Wayward, but I did really like it. It was definitely very different. I don't think I've read anything like that before. It's heavy on the magical realism, but I also like that there was a mystery component to the story as well. I didn't end up starting The Fine Print only because I read a few other books. I'll save that for my January wrap up. I didn't need the buffer just because I did read 2 romances and 1 thriller, so they were all like kind of fluffy and like popcorn type reads, but I'm really glad that I had those to kind of break up the fantasies and the bigger book. I also started Mistborn and I'm on chapter 3. I'm really liking it so far. I'm definitely like loving the direction it's going on. Chapter 3 is like not very far in, so like I'm not super far in, but I am really liking it so far. For my first Brandon Sanderson, I'm super excited, so I'm looking forward to reading more of this one. I'm now also 40% of the way through Two Towers, so I'm on chapter 8. I have to read to the end of chapter 10 for tonight's like buddy read phone call with my dad to talk about the chapters. So today I'm going to be focusing on getting those chapters read. Oh, and Frida McFadden's book just came out yesterday, her new one called The Crash. I'm really liking it. I think I'm like 70% of the way through on my Kindle just because it is so fast paced. The chapters are super short. I think they're so far like 2 to 6 minutes, so I'm flying through it really quickly. I've been anticipating this book for quite a while, so I'm so happy that it's finally out. It's on Kindle Unlimited if you want to check it out, but I'm loving it so much. It's a wintry thriller, so it's perfect for reading right now. I'm actually so proud of myself. I've been doing so well with my January TBR. Like I said earlier, I really wanted to prioritize doing well with my monthly TBRs this year, and I only have 3 left on my TBR, one of them being Mistborn, another one being Over the Influence, which is JoJo's memoir, and I'm 70% of the way into that one. I'm listening to it on audio, so I'm just kind of slowly making my way through that, but I'm hoping to finish it before the end of January. If I don't though, it's not a big deal. I'm not putting a ton of pressure on myself, even though my goal is to finish my TBRs. I'm not like going to be super mad if I don't or be super disappointed in myself. Reading is fun, so that's fine. And the last one of my January TBR that I haven't started is Evocation. This one isn't very long, but I don't know if I'll be able to get to it before the end of January. This might be bumped to February. We're gonna have to see, but I am really looking forward to reading this one because I loved A Diary of Blood by S.T. Gibson, who wrote Evocation. So I do want to get to this one like sooner rather than later. Okay, so like I said, today I'm going to be focusing on getting through those 3 chapters of The Two Towers, and then when I'm doing other stuff around the house or I have to run out and go to an appointment later, so I'll probably listen to JoJo's memoir on the way there and back. So I'm kind of set for books. I also have Frida McFadden's one that I want to finish today. So anyway, that's the plan. I'm going to grab myself a Diet Coke and then come back over here to the couch, get cozy. I'll probably read The Crash first and then go into The Two Towers just because that's what I'm feeling for right now. And I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. January is over, but I'm going to be posting my January wrap up soon. So I'm going to just kind of quickly go over what I was able to finish during this vlog, which I definitely think kept me accountable for specific books. So I did finish Frida McFadden's new book on my Kindle. Oh, I got a new Kindle case. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I think it's the cutest thing. Anyway, so I finished Frida McFadden's book. I think I gave it like 4 to 5 stars. It's very typical Frida McFadden, just very, you know, popcorn thriller. I did not want to put it down. I wanted to know what happened, like from start to finish. I was just like needing to know where the story was going to go and what was going to happen. So I was able to finish that one, even though that wasn't on my TBR for the video. I also did finish JoJo's memoir, which I was absolutely obsessed with. The audiobook like blew me away. She did such a good job narrating her memoir. I highly recommend that memoir, especially for people that liked listening to her music back in the day. I absolutely loved it. Going into kind of like her childhood, and then as she like rose to fame, and then like what went down with her record company, and then now like leading up to how she's starting to have a bit of a comeback. So I really recommend that memoir. Absolutely loved it. And then as for Mistborn, I got 185 pages in, so it's about that much. I'm actually very proud of myself for this one because I've been putting off Mistborn for like at least a couple months on different TBRs, and I'm really proud of myself for finally, you know, getting over my fear of diving into Brandon Sanderson and his whole like Cosmere between his series. So I'm very proud of myself for getting into this one and getting to the 185 page mark. I'm on chapter 10 and I'm really liking it. It's a very unique magic system. I haven't seen anything like it before and I'm absolutely loving it. The writing isn't anything that goes over my head. It's not complicated. It's not like pretentious. It's definitely just like a very good fantasy book and I'm really enjoying it. Like I mentioned earlier in the vlog, I did finish a couple other books while this vlog was going on, but I didn't include them in the video just because they weren't on my TBR, except for the Freida McFadden one. But those will be on my January wrap-up, which I will be filming probably today or tomorrow. So I'm really excited to film that and get that up. I think these TBR vlogs definitely keep me accountable. I would like to keep them up at least doing once per month, just to kind of pick a few books off my TBR and make sure I'm sticking to it. I already posted my February TBR, so I'll have that link below and you can kind of see what books I'll be including in an upcoming February TBR vlog. And that's it for this vlog, so I will see you guys again soon. Bye!